Hi, I'm Janice Pettit. Listen, have you ever sat staring at your computer wondering how the heck you're going to fill your business with high-end clients? Where are they and how do you reach them? Again, I'm Janice Pettit. I'm the founder of 10X Profit Strategies, and I have certainly been there. And I want to talk to you about how I solved this problem and built one of the most valuable business assets that I have using LinkedIn. Now, for years, like many professionals, I hadn't done much with LinkedIn. I've been a member for ages, but I hadn't really figured out how to make it work to get top-notch clients. But because I realized the quality of the professionals there, I finally decided to go from ignoring LinkedIn to trying to figure out a system that would consistently get phenomenal results. And I mean, really, who would have thought? What I learned is that LinkedIn is the #1 lead generation social media site in the world for business leads. And the difference between LinkedIn and other sites is truly the quality of the business connections you make on LinkedIn. So we had already worked hard to build an online following and a very sizable email list, but truly we wanted higher quality clients. We wanted clients who really appreciated the results and the benefits of our top business building programs and done-for-you marketing services, and who saw the value of investing in them. So are we on the same page here? Is that what you want as well? Because that's when I started working on a system to get top-notch clients for LinkedIn, because I knew they were there. And it took a good bit of trial and error. But over time, hey, we figured it out. We figured out a simple system that works. And then we started helping clients do the same. And we've now gathered case studies of the great results some of our clients are getting. And you'll see a few below. Now, if your clients are other businesses, this system really might serve you well. So like many of my clients, I need to ask you, do you have an amazing product or service, but you're still struggling a bit to make enough sales because you're just not finding the right qualified leads? Or you're hearing, hey, it's not in the budget, or I can't afford that now. And this is the biggest challenge that most small business owners face. Coaches, consultants, experts, sales professionals, we've all faced this. And I've certainly experienced the same thing. But without qualified leads who are ready to pay you what you're worth, your business dries up. And I'm not talking about getting 100% of the people you connect with to say yes to you, but getting more of them to say yes and more high quality people to say yes. So let's take a closer look at how LinkedIn could increase your sales. Now, look, I'm not a fan of those webinars that tell you you're going to earn some specific amount like $595,000 if you follow their system. But I want to give you a real life example of the kind of results that we've gotten and our clients have as well. So say you charge $1,000 per month for your service, and your client normally pays you on a 6-month contract. Now you might charge more, but let's be conservative. So you should now be bringing in, or you could be bringing in 1 to 3 new clients per month. So in the first month of a LinkedIn system campaign, you're actually going to be doing some preparatory work to get the best results possible. And then in the next month, you can really start to see results. So let's say in the second month, you add 3 new clients. That's $3,000. Now in the next month, you add another 3. Now you've got $6,000 coming in a month. Well, doing the math, that's $150,000 a year in additional revenues. Now, maybe in your business, it would be a lot more. I don't know. And of course, results will vary depending on the industry you're in, your pricing, the length of your client contracts. But we've had this experience, and so have many of our clients. So this is an opportunity to stop relying on strategies like low converting emails or endless social media posting or cold calling, buying lead list, or even any client chasing method. LinkedIn over time will build a golden business asset that has people seeking you out. So let's take a closer look.
So I want to go into a little bit more detail about how to connect with top-notch decision makers and turn them into hot leads using LinkedIn without spending on ads or lead lists or cold calling. So on average, just jot this down. How many sales appointments do you currently have each week? This is really important because it's all about getting more sales appointments. Nothing feels better than having a calendar filled with sales appointments, because we all know you have a conversion rate, right? So exciting results come from the more people you talk to, the more sales you make. And that's a real feeling of freedom. So that you don't have that little voice in the back of your head always saying, well, how am I going to get more customers this month? How am I going to get more customers this month? You know that there's a place you can go to get customers on demand. So why is building a LinkedIn list the holy grail for prospecting? Well, LinkedIn really has some amazing statistics. I was blown away because I didn't know this. 40% of millionaires are on LinkedIn. The average LinkedIn income is over $112,000. It's ranked the top business-to-business lead generation site, and it truly does give you access to top decision makers. And people really go there to do business. They're not there to socialize. So why do you think that most people fail to monetize their LinkedIn connections? Well, simply, just like me at one point before I started mastering this, they don't know how. And here's the simple math on why LinkedIn connections are so valuable. You know, a couple of years ago, Microsoft bought LinkedIn and they paid $26.2 billion for it. Why did they do that? Well, it's got 500 million high-quality top decision makers that are members, and they estimate that each connection you have on LinkedIn is worth an average of $58.20. Well, compare that to the average email subscriber that's worth maybe $1 to $5. So how many connections do you have on LinkedIn? Is it 250? Is it 5,000 plus? What is it? Because 1,000 connections would be worth, according to that math, $58,200, and 10,000 connections, if you were really working LinkedIn, would be worth over $500,000, which is astounding. So consider this. If you could build a database of valuable LinkedIn connections, and I'm talking about, forget an email list, that's important, but a database of LinkedIn connections, while building an email database of those same connections, and you could monetize those connections, wouldn't that be worth learning how? So, look, we have a 3-step system for massive monetization using LinkedIn. The first one is networking. So it's basically a networking platform. So we want to highly target and then connect with your ideal prospects. And then we want to make the contact and hopefully lock in an appointment with some of them, and then monetize and close the deal. Now that sounds very simple, but actually there are some specific steps that we've developed in this system that make this all work. So why is it fairly easy to connect with people on LinkedIn? Well, it is a trusted website. People that are there, they'll respond to you even if they don't know you, because you're there and they figure that you're trustworthy. And it's so easy to press a button and connect with you. And as a result, people are actually 25 times more likely to connect with you than to opt into your mailing list on a web page. So let me go over some of our secrets for making that 3-step system work. The first secret is you've got to nail down your offer. Now, most people never really think about the offer that will get them that first yes. People make tiny commitments called micro commitments to get to know you better, because that's what builds trust. Now, what I mean by that is, say you were starting to date somebody. Well, you wouldn't want to be asked to marry that person on the first date. You would slowly over time build trust little by little by little, and it's the same in social media. So a great what I call a gateway offer is an offer that's clear and it's very relevant to the specific problem or challenge you know your leads are facing, your market is facing. And it's specific to a particular audience. So not just 3 or 4 or 5 different industries, but one particular industry, one particular type of prospect. It has a clear call to action, which could be something like visit this web page, download a book a strategy session, opt in for a report, watch my webinar. It adds real value. It's not just fluff. It's free. It establishes you as an expert and leaves them wanting more. And once somebody makes that initial commitment, they are much more likely to keep making commitments to you. So once you've got your gateway offer, secret number 2 is correct targeting. Now, even the smartest, most successful people that we've worked with struggle with this. And it's identifying your best target market. Now, most people have tons of connections that they just add on LinkedIn, and they have connections with coworkers, friends, college buddies, your competition, maybe a few prospects who might not even be ideal prospects. And instead, what we want to work on is getting very, very specific about the person who is most likely to become your client or customer. Now, you can pay a subscription to Sales Navigator, which gives you very detailed targeting, but you can also do some really great targeting with a free account. So this is actually Sales Navigator, but you can target people by the industry they're in, keywords, their title, the type of company. In Navigator, you can add things like the company size, and so there's a lot of detailed features that you can focus on to build your target market. And this is really, really important. And we've had people think their target market was one thing, but once we started working with them on LinkedIn, we had to change it because we wanted to get them optimal results. So this is very important to understand your target market. Okay, so who can you target on LinkedIn? Well, look at this list. Look, CEOs, small business owners, doctors, dentists, attorneys. I mean, whether you're local marketing or you're national or international, you can target all those types of businesses on LinkedIn. Now, of course, your goal is to monetize your LinkedIn connections. And really, the way to do that is to introduce your products and services at the right time, not right at the beginning. So you don't want to send people messages right away when you first connect with them telling them, hey, go here and buy my product, because that's never going to work. So the goal is to introduce your products at the right time, then get an appointment or a discovery call with somebody, build your visibility and authority and expert status online so lots of people start to notice you, and then invite prospects to that gateway offer, webinars like this, or add them to your email list and build rapport and trust. So let's move on to secret number 3, which is building a power profile. Well, 98% of our clients have an effective profile before we work with them. And it's okay, most people have a profile that reads like an online resume, and it's kind of boring, and people just don't pay much attention to it. Let's look at a couple of profiles that have problems and see if you can help me identify what those are. So I'm giving you little hints here by circling 2 problems on this profile, even though there are more. So the first problem is no photograph. This is a networking site. Just like a networking event, you wouldn't want to go to a networking event with a paper bag over your head. So you've got to have a professional photo. And the next problem is low connections. And we're going to talk about what a devastating impact that has on your LinkedIn profile if you don't have enough connections. The problem with low connections is it gives you very low status. And more connection give you higher status. So if people see that you have a lot of connections, the desire to know you and connect with you goes up in the marketplace. And here's the key. The more first-level connections you have, the more second-level connections you have access to. Because when you connect with somebody on the first level, you get access and the option and ability to connect with everybody on their second level. That opens up a world of new prospects to you. And when you reach critical mass, what happens is people start coming to you and they say, hey, I want to connect with you. So this is why it's crucial to have a good number of connections. Now next, let's look at this profile. Same problem with the photograph. They have some kind of a logo thing here. I don't know what that is, but they need to have a photograph, and then they're also missing a banner. Now a banner is very easy to have created, and it is an opportunity for you to advertise what you do, to advertise your business. Why waste that opportunity? Plus, it doesn't look professional. Now, here is another profile that has some similar problems. First of all, it's got no banner. It's got a caricature instead of a professional photo. But I want to focus on this is a very common problem, but it's a little bit more subtle, which is the description of what this person does. We call this the headline, and it's very generic and boring. Strategy consultant and small business owner. That doesn't tell me anything about what this person can do for me. So we want to fix that and make it really dynamic and interesting. And then finally, the description, which is right under your headline. This starts to read just like an online resume, and instead we want to make this more about what the problem is that you solve, how you solve it, and what the benefits are for your reader. So you're really connecting with them, and it's more like a sales page than just an online resume. So your description, if you're looking for clients, it's got to be a clear description of the problem you solve, how you solve it, and how it benefits your clients with a clear call to action. That will get you much better results. So here is a really good profile. You see that the banner talks about exactly what this gentleman does, and his headline is very strong. Ask us for case studies of how we're adding several cases for our clients monthly. Well, if I'm an attorney, that's really going to grab me. So this is after you've got your gateway offer and you're targeting, you want to work on your profile. Secret number 4 is to add enough connections. So if you have less than 2,000 connections, LinkedIn does hide the best prospects from you. So you want to add targeted connections every single day. And the question is how many? 5? 50? You have to be very careful that you don't get LinkedIn to shut down your account or put you in LinkedIn jail. So we tell people add about 30, 35 a day. And we're going to talk about how to make sure that LinkedIn does not see that as spammy in any way. Which gets us into secret number 5, which is effective messaging. So when you start to message people and ask them to connect with you, poor messaging will result in wasted effort and less connections, and high converting messaging will get you more connections, conversations, and conversions. So how about if I tell you a little bit about how we do messaging and how we've created messages that get great results. So here's some messaging strategies. You want to know what messages should you send in order to fill that calendar with appointments. Well, this is something that's very key. When you are going to send out, say, 35, 40 messages a day, you want to make sure that you go to a list of your second level connections, and when you click the connect button and you see this pop up, you want to click on add a note, and you want to add a personalized note. This will prevent people from clicking the I don't know this person option. You don't want them to do that, because if they do that enough, LinkedIn will want to shut down your account. We have this happen almost never, because we send a personal note to each person. And that personal note can be a template, and all you have to do is put in their first name, and it results in the starting of a conversation. So we then follow up with a very specific thank you message. We have a template for that, and we get people saying, sure, let's set up an appointment, or ping me if you have a few minutes, let's have a conversation. And you start to have conversations with these people that you would love to have as clients. Now, once people start to use this system, they start to get results. These are just some of the people that have run through the system. And Brad said he closed 10 sales at $7,000 each. Armina closed a sale for $7,500. And I'm not saying that these are all typical results, but we have a lot of people like this that have gone through our Done For You lead generation program and had these kinds of results. So the final thing that will get you really stellar results is consistent relationship building, and that is daily follow-up gets results. So it's very important that we go through a follow-up system so that all those wonderful new connections don't just fall by the wayside. So we encourage you to download your connections because they can easily be exported as a CSV file from LinkedIn. And, use that spreadsheet to track your leads, track your communication with people, and designate people as a warm lead, a hot lead, a cold lead. So you know who to follow up with, because otherwise you will lose track and you will literally be walking away from revenues that could be coming into your business. Step 2 is once we have downloaded all of that, before we do, we want to engage people on LinkedIn. So you can see here that, people are starting a conversation with us on LinkedIn. And we check this every day to respond to any messages people have sent in response to what we've sent them. And then the rest of the people, like say you've connected with a bunch of people, they haven't responded to a thank you message, we download those people and put them into an email campaign. It's very simple to do. And very shortly I'm going to be telling you about what's below. About our LinkedIn Leads on Demand bootcamp. And we actually have templates for these emails, and we show you exactly how to do this. Very, very simple. And the purpose of those emails is, again, to get people to either opt in to see a webinar or download a report or set up a phone call with you. The open rate on these emails is very high. Between 40 and 60%. Well, compare that to the normal email open rate, which is maybe 8 to 10%. The reason it's so high is because you are telling people, hey, I'm connected to you on LinkedIn. And as a result, they feel that's a business email they need to read. We send a 4-email campaign over 14 days, and it gets very good open rates, and in some cases, a very good response. And then step 4 is a simple phone campaign to the connections you most want to speak with. And we even have a way to do a video email campaign to our hottest prospects. And those emails get a 90% open rate. So understanding the details of this system and how to implement it every day in your business, spend 30 to 45 minutes doing this every day, is really crucial to you getting the best results possible from LinkedIn. So if you'd like to avoid these pitfalls like an unclear offer, incorrect targeting, an ineffective profile, fruitless messaging, poor relationship nurturing, and low lead conversion, and instead wake up every morning knowing that you've got a valuable, responsive lead list. You don't have to scratch your head trying to figure out where you're going to go to find more leads. You don't have to pick up the phone and start cold calling. You've got new people to follow up with. You've got appointments to book and sales to close. Then you might want to think of joining me in the LinkedIn Leads on Demand Bootcamp. And all of the details about this bootcamp are below. Now, I created this because I know not everyone can invest in our high-level done-for-you lead generation program. And I just really wanted to help people. I wanted to help people just like you. And so there are 8 comprehensive video tutorials. Each one has downloadable slides, specific action steps to take, and notes. And we have a private group that you will be invited to join. And we even have a fun weekly challenge where you can win Rockstar points and win rewards, which makes this fun, and it makes you want to get up every day and work your LinkedIn program. Now, I've also included all my messaging templates, the exact templates we use to get the most targeted connections. I've even included my email templates, the emails we use to get more new connections, that people that want to start a conversation with you. And finally, I've included my phone script template, so exactly what to say on the phone to get past the gatekeeper, get a discovery call, and get people to schedule that call with you. And most importantly, this is a priceless bonus. I'm in the private Facebook group that I've created for the members of the boot camp, and I'm in there giving you personal coaching and support. And if you were to hire me as your personal coach, of course, you'd pay much, much, much more than that. I want you to succeed with this, and that's why I really, really wanted to include this. So what can be your result? Well, you're going to build a golden business asset that's always increasing, and it's a private customized list of top-notch decision makers that you want to work with and that want to work with you. So you're going to have nurtured leads that want to meet or speak with you, whether they message you, they email you, or they call you. So before you make a decision, I want you to think about what each new client is worth to you over time. In the example earlier, I mentioned a client being worth $1,000 a month with a 6-month contract, which means that client would be worth a minimum of $6,000, a minimum. And I don't know what your price points are, but if you got one client at $6,000, this is obviously, it's just a no-brainer. So I want you to write down what is each new client worth to you over time, over the lifetime of that relationship. So I'm inviting you to join the boot camp if you'd like to build and increase your LinkedIn list on demand every week, more easily promote your products, services, or expertise, generate a wealth of warm leads, grow your community and influence, put people right into your calendar and your sales pipeline. And unlike most courses, this not only includes the training and the blueprint for your success, but I'm giving you an action plan. So it's the exact plan that you'll be developing that has added 6 figures in revenues for us and for our clients. Now, what you normally don't get with this kind of a course is support and community. And I really want to be able to answer your questions when they arise and give you help on another level. And invite you to join this private community of like-minded professionals. You can brainstorm, you can network, you can collaborate, and as a boot camp participant, you get access, and all you have to do is join the LinkedIn Leads in Demand Bootcamp below. And I also want you to check out our guarantee, because that's how much I personally believe and know that you can get results if you follow through on what you'll be learning. And so I do offer you an opportunity to purchase the boot camp, join the boot camp at absolutely no risk. Now, just for a limited time, you can join the boot camp at 75% off the regular tuition. So literally for the cost of a restaurant meal, you can join this boot camp. And in about 90 days, you can start to see amazing results. So this is definitely a limited time offer, and I wanted to invite you to take advantage of it. I hope that you really will get started benefiting from LinkedIn, and I hope to see you in our private group very, very soon. Thanks.